Like, you got to be able to figure it out right then and there and go get better. I'd say, something that separates those good to great, I'd say is just asking questions and like asking for feedback from your coaches. I mean, if you're expecting to be on the court and you're not playing in the games, like, you got to go talk to your coach and ask questions, find out what you need to do better. You can't just sit there and wait. Like, you got to be able to figure it out right then and there and go get better. Like, find out what you need to get better at. Don't just wait for them to come up to you. You take the initiative first.
Let's start talking about where you guys are at now. And Jack, you already talked about this a little bit, but what's the biggest jump from playing high school to playing college? That if you could pick one thing right now, because you've only been in it a few months now, but I know your eyes are wide open. So what thing surprised you the most?
I'd say the speed of the game is very different from high school. I came from a pretty big high school, so we were class 6, so we were pretty competitive. And the speed at the Division III level is very, very different than it was in high school. It's much faster. It's much more action-based. There are times we're running sets that are pretty advanced, and honestly, we're just looking to sprint all the time. Like, we want to just run as fast as we possibly can. So you got to be in shape. Like, if you're not in shape, you're not going to survive. So getting used to the speed of the game and adapting as much as you possibly can is definitely the biggest jump from high school to college for me.
Okay. Easton, same question. And you got kind of a cheat code with it because you got to the red shirt. So probably similar answer, I would imagine, of what's the biggest jump from high school to college?
Yeah. So going back to freshman year, kind of just the biggest thing that stood out to me was like how much more physically demanding practices were compared to high school. Like, I kind of go back and remember high school, the practices, they were competitive, but it was whatever. Like, you were just doing, you're just preparing for the game. But the day before a game, like, we're still, going at it full speed, contact. Like, nothing's changing. I mean, maybe a little bit more half court stuff, but like, it doesn't matter what day, what hour, like, you got to be ready to practice no matter what.
And Easton, I want to stay with you. I mean, you redshirted as a freshman. That is not an easy thing to do because you're doing everything else the team's doing at the Division II level, practicing, lifting, doing everything, film, but you don't get to play in any of the games. And that's a very difficult thing mentally for a lot of kids to handle. Can you just talk about your decision to redshirt, why you made that decision, how hard it was for you mentally? How did you deal with that? And what was the long-term benefit of doing that? Because and by the way, GNAC Player of the Week this week, so congratulations on that.
Thank you.
You're having a heck of a season, so keep it up. But just kind of talk about your redshirt year.
Yeah, it was hard, but it was nice because I came in with 4 other freshmen, so 5 including me, and we all ended up redshirting. So that definitely helped a little bit, just being able to hang out with those guys. I was able to get a lot closer. Teams are going on road trips. We're staying back. We're getting better together. But at the end of the day, I really just the decision came down to was just like, how many minutes was I going to play that first year? And that number that I received from my coaches, they were very transparent about it, was just not what I was looking for. So it was just kind of like being able to save that year and just get better. And, play against those guys every day in practice, give them a good look on the practice or scout squad, as we call it here, was something that was very, very crucial. And, at the end of the day, like, I'm going to have an extra year next year. Like, if I didn't redshirt, like, this would be my last year right now. So it's definitely going to help me down the road. And if anyone's looking into that decision, I would definitely advise it, because it doesn't hurt you at all.
Yeah, so the biggest reason why you did it is, I think the coaches said, hey, Easton, you're going to play 7 minutes a game as a freshman. We'd rather you redshirt than, that's kind of the conversation, right? You got to make the decision, but they kind of said, hey, listen, like, we think it's advisable to redshirt because, you can get so much better. You're not going to waste, not waste year, but play
Yeah.
limited minutes when you could play a lot more as a redshirt freshman. Is that kind of how the conversation went?
Yeah, that's pretty much how it went. I mean, yeah, the decision was completely up to me, but talking to family and stuff like that, like it was just I was looking long term at my career, so that it was fitting that timeline for sure.
Yeah, yeah. And Jack, you're a freshman. You kind of talked about kind of one of the biggest adjustments going into your freshman year is just the speed of play. Talk about how important the weight room's been for you at the college level versus high school. Because I don't think a lot of high school kids realize how much more intense a college strength and conditioning program is and what all that entails. So can you kind of talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So something that stuck out to me right away was we actually had a strength and conditioning coach. We never had that in high school. So like there's somebody whose job is literally to put together lifts and meal plans that will get you stronger. And so I knew right when we got into our first college lift, I could tell right away the energy was completely different in the weight room. The weight on the bar was a lot different than it was in high school. And you could tell, I mean, those guys, they're in there. They're not just trying to get in there to get in there. They're getting in there to get stronger. Like it is so much different than high school. Like the amount of time people spend in there. There are people who will spend more time in the weight room than actually on the court because our conference is probably one of the most physical conferences in the country. So you have to be able to take hits to be able to play in our conference. So the weight room is definitely the biggest and most important thing to get on top of once you transition from high school to college.
Absolutely.
And Jack, I want to talk about you having, Easton redshirted. You have an opportunity. I think one of the biggest misconceptions in college basketball is Augie has a developmental team, and you're able to play on both. And as a freshman, like you've already talked about, like the minutes aren't going to be there on the varsity squad. Yeah. But talk about developmental, like what is your guys' practice schedule like? Like what are you guys doing? And how is that going to prepare you for long-term, like Easton talked about, down the road to be able to help Augustine in the long run?
Yeah, so we actually have all the freshmen are on that developmental squad. So we are technically, like you said, the scout, like we give the look for the varsity or the upperclassmen. And so we are competing against them. All of us are on the same team, competing against them every day at practice. Like we're doing everything they're doing. We're with them all the time. And so playing against them every day with each other helps us build chemistry like very, very quickly because we're playing against guys there are some guys who are about to turn 23 that we're playing against, and we're 18-year-olds. So it's like we're out there playing at one of the highest levels you could play at together, all as freshmen. And so I feel like being able to do that and then having the opportunity to go play in live games against other college athletes it's a huge opportunity that people really probably have a misconception about. And I love it because I'm able to still go out and play live when like have that competition mindset in the back of my head, like we're in a game, like we're playing 2 20-minute halves, like we're out there playing live in the arena and everything. So it's super fun.
Yeah, some people think it's just like glorified gym class.
Oh no.
Like
yeah.
Thank you, Jack.
You're playing against dudes. We had one guy the other day catch a windmill lob, throw it down in our game. Like we're playing against dudes.
Yeah. Easton, you're playing Division II basketball right now. Can you kind of walk us through a typical day when you wake up to when you go to bed at night? Like what does your day look like as far as basketball, school, and all that stuff?
Yeah. So pretty much, in season right now, we're getting up at 8 o'clock, have a workout before class, usually class at 9. So get a quick workout in, that kind of like one-on-one, more skill work. And then really here we practice either at 3:30 p.m. or 5:30 p.m. based off like us and the women's team go back and forth. So we're pretty much we're in class all day until that, and then on like Tuesdays and Thursdays we got lifting at 11. So kind of like we're kind of going back and forth between class, lift, workouts, and then practice. So that pretty much takes up all the day until you're done for the night. And then in season now we're watching film after practice or before. Kind of just depends on the day, but we're always hitting those three to four main things: personal workout, lifting, practice, film. So that's pretty much typically what's going on every day.
Yeah. And so how are you handling, that's a lot. I mean, I think high school players need to understand the time commitment goes up tenfold as far as your commitment to basketball, because there's so many other pieces and factors that you're putting in there on a daily basis. How have you handled the academic transition from high school to college? And because you are a great student out of high school, you're a really good student in college. How have you handled that and stayed successful, knowing that your basketball time is going to be a lot more in college?
Yeah, for me, it was just really like finding a really good routine and schedule and kind of just sticking to that, because once you figure that out, it's going to get a lot easier. And also something that I've been doing like on the academic side is like find those little times, even if it's like 15 to 30 minutes, like get some homework done, start on an essay, study for an exam. Because at the end of the day, like you only have 24 hours in a day. So you're probably not going to get to everything in terms of on the academic side. So you got to use that time, maybe you go on social media for 15 minutes, use it to study. Like that's kind of the advice I'd say.
Yeah. That's great advice. That's great advice. Jack, you're a freshman. Obviously, you've talked a lot about the difference between high school to college and the demand that basketball is at the college level. How have you been able to maintain, academics and that type of thing?
Yeah, kind of the same as Easton said. Just finding every little hole of time to get in, like the library, or just get a little bit of studying in. And I'd say a big thing for me was to like get close with my professors and let them know, like, hey, I'm on the basketball team. I may be gone for this or that. And like just let them know, because the closer you can get with your professors, the more lenient they might be with you with maybe extensions if you're out of town. Just, I mean, the way to go is definitely get in contact with your professors and just find holes of time to study in between the time you have basketball and the time you're watching film and the time you're getting your lift in. Like, just let them know like that you're present in that sport and that you're going to give it all you have in the classroom, ask questions, be engaged in the front of class, like all that stuff that people say. Like, just really do it. It will help you out.
Great answer. Great answer.
Easton, how has college basketball impacted your social life and your circle of friends that you have now compared to when you were 18?
Yeah, going back to freshman year, I mean, there was 4 other incoming freshmen with me, so I was able to get really close, and we still talk to this day, like every day, pretty much. I still got 3 of them still here, but the other one that's not here, we're still always talking to this day, and like I still got teammates when I was a freshman that were seniors that I still talk to and asking how I'm doing. That kind of just goes back onto like the coaches here and the culture that they built, and like just everyone I've been close to, and everyone's like a brother to me that I've been around here, even if it was for a year. Like I still will go and see how those guys are doing, and I know most of those guys that were here before, they live around here, so I still see them quite a bit. So that's just, I was able to gain a lot more friends from high school, so it's just been great.
Good. Jack, same to you. How has this impacted your social life and your friendships?
Yeah, I'd say only positively. I've remained close with all the guys from back home. I'm checking in with our high school team has the game tomorrow. Just let the guys know, like I'll be watching, like just still in contact with all of them. And then the amount of people, I had 8 other incoming freshmen with me. So all of us talk, like I said, I told Coach Delp, the first night we were all on campus, like the day it was like our welcome week. Our parents were there. The night they left, that night, all of us were in the gym together. So it's like that bond instantly, like we built it right away. And we talk every day. Everybody's super close. So that knit group of friends that can bond over a game of basketball, like it's awesome. Like it's so cool.
Easton, what's the biggest difference between high school and college, just in terms of expectations and responsibility on and off the court from your coaches?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of expectations here. I mean, our coaching staff, we run really tight ship around here, and they're very transparent. They hold us to a high standard. Like even, I'll give you guys an example. We had a guy show up late to film on a game day. So obviously that's one of his things. Like if you're not on time, then we're getting punished. So we were the day after a game, we were up at 5 a.m. in the weight room doing like a little circuit, getting better. So it's just kind of like something like that. Like our coach has, biggest expectation is just be on time. Like that's really like, if you're not there 5 minutes early, you're pretty much late for anything. And like, even for practice, if you're not there 30 minutes there before, you're pretty much late. Like we only got so much time. You got to be on the court. You got to be ready to go. And it doesn't matter how long that takes. Like they don't care. Like you only got so much time on the court, especially in the preseason.
Good. Yeah. How about you, Jack?
Yeah, I'd say the exact same. Our expectation is to be everywhere 10 minutes early, whether that's practice, film, weight room, class, like everywhere. And they don't really, like you said, they don't care if you have, if you have a conflict that is like academic related, like obviously communicate that. But if you're not communicating it, like they're just going to assume you're going to be there. So communication is the biggest thing. And if you as a freshman, I learned that having time management is the most important thing. Like being able to say, I'm going to do this, this, and this at this time, so I have time for this, is something that I learned very quickly. That is very important. You need, like for me, I have a planner. Like I have a planner for all the dates of stuff that I have, so I'm never late to anything. Because like he said, like there will be punishments. Like this isn't high school anymore. Like they're paying for part of your school to come play basketball. Like they're not here to babysit. Like you got to do what you got to do. Like 10, if you got to be somewhere 10 minutes early, you're there 10 minutes early. And if there's not, there's punishments. And they don't really care how you feel about it. That's the standard. So, you just got to be able to man up and just get it done.
Right. Yeah.
So if you could go back in time, Jack, what is a piece of advice you would give to yourself a year ago?
I'd say get in the weight room way earlier. I'd say by the time if I could go back in time, I'd try to get to 170 as a senior in high school. And so I could build off of that and get bigger going into college. I feel like, honestly, the weight room is huge, especially, like I said, in this conference. People are just, you're not getting any calls. Like, you just got to be able to take a hit and live with it. So for me, I'd say get in the weight room as early as possible and ask questions about what you need to do in the weight room and on the court, because the more knowledge you have coming in to college, it's going to just only make it easier.
Good. Easton, you got to go back a little further than Jack, but if you go back to high school, Easton, what's a piece of advice you'd give yourself?
For me, like I would just say like get in the gym even more. Like sometimes you think you're there enough, but it's like even just extra hour a week, like just something like that, like just even more shots. And honestly, like I would tell them, like every time you go to the gym, you don't have to go and do like all the crazy stuff. Like you could just go there and shoot free throws. Like that's something I've learned. Like that was something I did. We had an off day today because we played back to back Friday, Saturday, and I was just in the gym today. I did 400 form shots and 100 free throws, and got on the bike earlier and just kind of just got a sweat going. So I would just say like also be how do I say this? Be intentional with your work. Don't just go through the motions every time you're there. Like be there to get better, not just waste your time.
Good. Jack, we'll go back to you. That's my last question. I got a couple of fun ones to ask you guys to end here. But what habits do you think separate players who succeed at the college level versus those who struggle?
I'd say getting in the gym too much. I think there's never really like a amount of time that you should be in the gym. Like as much as you can is good enough. Like if it's in there, and like I said, if you're in there as much as you can doing intentional things, like you're going to find ways to get better. So like you said, whether it's getting up form shots, whether it's getting in free throws, whether it's getting in 20 minutes of ball handling, like just getting in the gym and doing intentional work that's really what could help you succeed. And people who go in there and maybe like just like mess around and maybe don't take it serious all the time, like that will lead to struggles in college, because once you go to college, that switch flips. Whether you flip it or not, someone will flip it for you. So, if you're not ready to go into practice with an intentional mindset every day, you're going to really struggle. So, it's just about just getting in the right mindset to going in and just putting in the work.
Great answer. Easton, how about you?
I'd say, something that separates those good to great, I'd say is just asking questions and like asking for feedback from your coaches. I mean, if you're expecting to be on the court and you're not playing in the games, you got to go talk to your coach and ask questions, find out what you need to do better. You can't just sit there and wait. Like, you got to be able to figure it out right then and there and go get better. Like, find out what you need to get better at. Don't just wait for them to come up to you. You take the initiative first.
Yeah, there's no question about it. Great players want to be coached hard. That's great. Coach, I'm going to lead off with my first fun question here.
Fire away.
Easton, what's your favorite gym to play in, or the best gym you played in so far in your career?
Probably my redshirt freshman year when we played at Utah State. I saw a lot of things online about how loud it was going to be, and it definitely exceeded those expectations. The loudest place I played in.
Yeah, great. Jack, you haven't really played in many. You're only a freshman, so you've only played a few games thus far. But so far, what's been your favorite gym to play in?
I mean, I gotta say Augustana, right? I mean,
that's a correct answer. Good answer.
Yeah, exactly. They pack that place. They talk about the Carver Magic on your recruits or your recruiting trips, and it's for sure. It's real. They pack the stands. They're giving out free shirts. The student section right under the second half opposing basket. Like, they do it right out here. So that's definitely my favorite place.
That's great.
Easton, who's the best player you've played against?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Or seen?
Like ever or in college?
Since you got to college that you've been on the court with, or even your redshirt year that you saw. Like, who's the best that you've seen?
Last year we played Cal State Dominguez Hills in the tournament, and they had a Division II All-American who's at Stanford now, and we actually did a really good job against him. We kind of played him out of the game, but just watching him on film before we played him, you could tell that dude gets buckets. So
Easton, you're saying there's high major players playing Division II basketball?
Yep, there's a guy at Stanford now that we played against last year. So
good. Yep, good.
Jack, who are you most excited to see play this year on your guys' schedule? Whether it's a team or somebody that you heard about that you guys are going to go against.
Yeah, I'm excited to go see play Wesleyan. I've heard a lot of stuff about a rivalry we have with them. I remember texting Coach Doherty after they played last year and they won, and I was like, "How's the game?" He was just talking about how chippy it was towards the end and how there's a little bit of a scuffle here and there, maybe a few times. And I was just like, I just can't wait to watch this and in person and actually be a part of this and to see what happens. Because, I mean, all I've heard is, it's going to be a good game when all you hear is bad things about a team from the coaching staff and the players. Like, it's going to be a fun one. So I'm excited for that one.
Coach Schaefer might still hold a grudge against that school.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
Hey, just take it easy on my boy Carson Greer. He's a freshman at Wheaton. He was a client. Just take it easy on him. Say hi to him when you play against him because he was a client of ours as well. He's starting for Wheaton right now as a freshman. So
there you go.
Last question, Easton. What opponent are you most looking forward to playing against this year?
I'm gonna say Central Washington.
Okay.
They've been at the top of our conference for a couple of years now, and I haven't really had I feel like my best showings against them the past couple of years. So definitely looking to change that this year. So they're definitely on the schedule.
Great. Good. And Jack, big question here. I don't know if it's a correct answer, but there could be. Best place to eat in the Quad Cities.
Oh boy. Oh God. I'd have to say there's so many. I'd have to say there's this pancake place in, I think, Davenport that's really good. I forget the name, but I think it's the Quad City Pancake, something like that. I've gone there every time for breakfast with my parents. It is amazing. They have cinnamon roll pancakes. It's amazing. Highly recommend. It's very good.
Awesome.
That's not on the strength and conditioning coaches.
No, it's not.
Nutritional guidebook.
No, it's not.
No. You got to check out the Steel Plow. Have you been there yet?
No, Steel Plow.
Milkshakes are unreal.
All right, gotta write that down.
Again, not on the strength and conditioning program. Shape knows all these bad places to eat.
Yeah. And Easton, I'm looking forward to checking out Nampa, see what's up. What's good in Nampa. Easton, where should your dad take us?
Mesa Tacos. It's a good little taco spot here. I know it's Idaho. Might not sound too right, but
Arizona's got the best tacos, man. Come on. They better be good.
Oh, exactly. But it's good. I'd say it matches anything I've had in Arizona.
Okay. So. Nice. Okay.
All right. Well, we can't thank both of you enough for joining us and sharing your journey, with us and our audience. And I hope the high school players that are listening take heed to what you guys said, because great stuff. Totally unsolicited. None of this was paid for by any. We didn't slide them any money or anything like that. But we really appreciate you guys being on tonight.
Yeah, thank you for having us. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for being on, boys. And good luck this season. We look forward to continuing to follow your progress and your successes.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Appreciate that. Basketball players, are you grinding in the gym but struggling to get noticed by college coaches? Your talent deserves the right exposure, and that's where Net Results Recruiting comes in. Whether you're in high school, junior college, or prep school, we help you connect with college programs, get you promoted to college coaches, and receive expert guidance throughout your recruitment journey. Don't leave your future to chance. Get exposure, get guidance, get results. Let our team find your team. Visit netresultsrecruiting.com today and take the next step towards your college basketball dream.